This is Danette Moss, business systems and implementation strategist over at Let's Talk Strategies, home of the SaaS Factor, joining you all on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, if it'll stay great here today. And I'm excited about today's topic, from chaos to clarity. Organizing your mompreneur empire is our topic of discussion today. And I got a question for you all. I wondered if you knew, I really wonder if you know this. Did you know that experts suggest that 1 minute, just 1 minute, spent planning can save you 10 to 12 minutes when you go to execute your plan? I mean, 1 minute spent planning can save you 10 to 12 minutes. Heck, as a busy mompreneur, wifepreneur, woman who doesn't have children, just a woman in business, that is a lot with as busy as we stay throughout the day. And I'm just excited to share these tips with you here today on this other awesome segment of Empowering Women Together. Again, I am Danette Moss, business systems and implementation strategist, aka the strategy lady over at Let's Talk Strategies. And I'm extremely excited to share this as a busy mompreneur myself. I know the importance of having a strategic action plan, I like to call it, right? I know a lot of us talk about having a business plan, but I also believe we need to have an action plan for our business written down that we actually walk into and implement so that we can have the success that we desire to have. So if you don't have a sheet of paper and a pencil and something or pen, go ahead and grab one now, because I'm going to go ahead very quickly and drop some of these steps to you that you can begin to implement now in your business so that you can not only take your business to the level of success you want to. As a busy mom, you can take your life there too, because hey, as a mompreneur, we can't separate them. Everything is intermixed. So let's go ahead and let's get started with step one. Step one on going from chaos to clarity, organizing your mompreneur empire, is to write that vision. Y'all know I don't play on that one. Write the vision and make it plain. That means you got to get it out of your head, get it down on paper. See, the scripture says, write the vision and make it plain, so them that see it can run with it. But nobody else can run with it if you don't see it first. So, step one, write the vision down, get it out your head, down on paper. Get all those brilliant ideas out of your head. Don't try to put them in any particular order. This means that you now have a chance to assess where you are and where you want to go. So, in order to do that, ask yourself, what's your mission when it comes to this project or business? Whatever this big God given vision that God gave you, what's the mission on this thing? And what are your short and long term goals? Write them down. Don't try to write them in its perfect way. Get it out your head, get it down so you can visually see it. So now you got a point of reference that you can go back to. Okay. Now, also, you need to ask yourself, who is your target audience? Stop taking that mud and throwing it up against the wall expecting for it to stick. Everybody's not your client. Even if I deal with mompreneurs, not every mompreneur is my client, believe it or not. So you've got to really hone in on who your target audience is. So that way, as you begin to write out that vision, get clear on different things, you can begin to see those things that you need to do. You can begin to spot the things that you don't want to deal with at the same time. So get clear on that. Write the mission. Get clear on what your short and long term goals are, and get clear on your target audience. Everybody's not your target audience. I don't care what they say. They're not. Step two, set SMART goals. I know you've heard it, and I'm going to keep hounding on it. You know you need to be specific with it. So when I tell you about having the SMART methodology in your business model, it needs to be, because it helps you really get clear on your goals. This will help you really turn that dream into the reality that you want it to be. So again, when we think about the SMART methodology and using the SMART, step-by-step approach, SMART, The S in SMART stands for specific. That means clearly defining what you want to achieve, not trying to guesstimate, right? Guess, get it? Measurable is determine how you will track the progress. When you begin to map out a plan, it needs to be measurable. That way, you know what it is you're doing. You don't have time to waste. I know I don't as a busy mompreneur. I'm a mother of 5 and a grandmother of 5 and 2 grand dogs. I don't have time to sit here trying to guess at things. Things really need to be measurable. That data is going to be very, very important. I need to be able to track it. And so do you. Attainable, which is that A in the SMART. Set goals that are challenging, but something that you can achieve. Okay, we know that generally speaking, when we talk about our God-given goals, oftentimes these are goals that we're like, I don't know how I'm going to reach it, right? But when he gives you that God-given goal, he wants you to do the checkup from the neck up with him. But trust and believe, you still want it to be something that's achievable. Because if it's not achievable, all you're going to do is frustrate yourself. And then you're going to give up. You're going to throw in the towel. We don't have time to throw in the towel. We are successful mompreneurs. And if we don't have the success yet, you will. So speak it into existence. The R stands for realistic, and that is ensure your goals align with what? Your resources and your capabilities, right? Are you capable of doing this? And if you're not quite yet, but you know this is something you want to do, it's all good. Go get some training. Come to me. If I'm not the best fit for you, go somewhere and get the training you need, girl, so that you can make sure that you got the resources that you need and that you've got the skill set to make it happen. And the T inside of SMART stands for timely. Okay. And that is establish deadlines for your goals. Don't you dare go and put something on that prioritized to-do list or put it on that action plan and you hadn't put a date next to it. Because if you don't put a date next to it, it ain't gonna happen. So you need to establish some deadlines to make sure that those goals are SMART goals. So another example, a SMART goal could be, let's say you want to increase traffic by 25% within the next, 3 months using SEO strategies. Again, we made it specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely because not only did we put the percentage, we put the months, we put all that there. That's what you need to do with clarity when you're creating your SMART goals. Okay. Now, step 3 is craft your plan out. You got to craft it out. It ain't going to happen until you map it out. So now it's time to break those goals down to actionable steps. Create your long and short-term goals. Now, make sure they include whatever the specific actions that it is you'll be taking, or whoever your team members are, your VA, junior admin, whatever. You gotta be detailed in that long and short term. Map it out and be specific with the action plans that it takes in order for you to achieve that. Then you want to make sure that you begin to put times, not just put the time that you want to have it done by, but as you're doing that, as you're crafting your plan out, put that timer on and map out how long it's taking you to do each task or whoever's taking care of it. Because this is going to help you later on when you get to those SOPs and workflows, right? And then you also want to put down, if it's not you that's doing it, who will be responsible for each task. You know, when you get in business, as you begin to grow, you're going to have gatekeepers, AKA somebody else doing it for you. Make sure you list who's responsible for it. And as you list who's responsible for it, this is when, like I said, you get into those workflows and SOPs and you're not able to be there. You sound like I sound. You get sick. Somebody gets sick. The kids get sick. You got to go somewhere. When you know who's responsible for it, you can even walk them through doing a Loom video, setting some things up so that somebody else can step in, right? As you craft your plan out, make it sensible, but make it where someone else can step in and take care of it for you, just in case you're not able to take care of it. Now, step 4, implement and manage. See, we get into this habit of listing and creating a to-do list, even our prioritized to-do list. But then you don't take action on it. You don't implement it. You got to implement. Whatever it is that you took the time to write out and map out, it is time to take action. Put it into action. You got to do it. So here's a step-by-step approach when I think about implementing and putting things into action. First, as I just mentioned a moment ago, prioritize the task or the to-do list, if that's what you want to call it. Okay. As you begin to prioritize it, go ahead and list it by, let's say, the impact or the urgency of that said task, right? That way, you're not working on things that you really don't need to be working on. You're not working on the things that you may need to give to somebody else. You're working on that thing that, one, is your God given talent, that thing that you are good at, your zone of optimization or genius. I know y'all have heard those terms before. As you begin to prioritize, you can clearly see and define and see, is this something I need to keep, scrap, pause, or delegate to someone else? Use that, what I just gave you, to do that when you look at that prioritized task list. Also, make sure that you delegate again those tasks to team members or outsource if necessary. If you know that you're not good at social media, you don't have the time to do it, you don't want to do it, you know you're not good at accounting or dealing with QuickBooks, give it to somebody else. You will appreciate it later on, the fact that you're not sitting there trying to work on something that's just not you. And now you're beginning to hate that thing instead of doing what you went into business to do. Hopefully, you went in to whatever it is you decided to do it in your business as a mompreneur. Hopefully, you enjoy it. Because if you don't, it's a waste of time. You're going to give up because you are going to run into some hard times with this thing called mompreneur and entrepreneurship, right? And you got to really want to enjoy it, because this is what's going to help you have that stick to itness that I know you're going to need to have, lady, in order to walk this vision out. All right. And then you also want to create a schedule or a timeline for each task. Now, I like to put mine together, my planner or my agenda. I put them together, meaning my life and my business plan together. Because again, I'm being a mother of 5 and a grandmother of 5. I could easily sit here and my 3 oldest ones, they're grown and on their own, but I got 2 start overs. One who's turning 17 and one he'll be 19. And sometimes I can sit down and I can go all in on my business. They're doing their thing as teenagers, but I got to remember I'm still a mompreneur. There's things I need to do. There's places I need to go. There at some point in my life, there were track meets, there were cheerleading things. There's, wanting to go out and hang out with your girlfriends for their sweet 16s. These are things that you need to remember. So I put these things all together so that I can spot them and I don't miss anything. So create a schedule or a timeline for each task and include your life plan on that as well. And then next, you want to monitor the progress and adjust your plan as needed. It's your plan. Adjust it accordingly, but don't adjust it because you're sitting there being slick. And what do I mean by being slick? You keep putting that doggone task on your to-do list or your prioritized to-do list every single day instead of you finishing it. Now, what are you doing? Procrastinating. If you're procrastinating because you don't want to do this, hey, give it to someone else. But if someone else can't do it, yet you're still procrastinating, look at why you're doing it. Do you lack the skill, as I mentioned earlier? Go get what you need, girl, to make some stuff happen so you can get past this. And this one task is probably that thing that's going to take your business to the other side. So if you find that you are procrastinating on a said task as you begin to monitor, you need to give yourself a checkup from the neck up on that thing and maybe make that the first thing that you need to complete. So you can go ahead and check that thing off the list and get on to the next one. Now, ladies, this is really, truly going to help you. And I am helping. Look, somebody had the nerve to be calling me in the midst of me doing this for IG. But my YouTube and all that, you all still got it. I am truly hoping, ladies, that the information that I gave you will equip you with the knowledge that you need to create an amazing strategic plan for your business. Remember, success starts with a plan. It really does. All right, ladies, I hope that this has truly been helpful for you. Remember, write that vision just as that recap. Get that brilliant idea out of your head down on paper. Remember, you got to get that mission, outline the short and long term goals. Figure out who your target audience is. It's not everybody. It's not. That's step 2. Set your SMART goals. Go back and listen to this so that you can hear the outline of what a SMART goal is and the example that I gave you. Also, for the next step, which is step 3, craft that plan out. Break those goals down into actionable steps and make some stuff happen. And then you can move on to step 4, which is implementing and managing. Take action now, not later. All right. You got this. And step 5, of course, as I mentioned a little earlier, was for you to go ahead as you implement and just remember that you got this. It does not have to be perfect, but you do need to equip yourself with the knowledge that you need and create an amazing strategic plan. So technically, I believe I outlined 4, but the final phase is 5th, create that strategic action plan, get it in motion, and remember that success starts with a plan. This is Danette Moss, business systems and implementation strategist, aka the strategy lady, over at Let's Talk Strategies, home of the SaaS Factor, where I work with those overwhelmed yet busy mompreneurs. Y'all, I help them go from overwhelmed to simplifying, automating, systematizing, and streamlining their business. I help them get their SaaS on. In a nutshell, I help you put your business on rinse and repeat. Again, I hope that this has been helpful for you. Thank you so much for joining me for yet another segment of Empowering Women Together. Join me tomorrow for day number 27. We're getting ready to wrap it up. I'm doing this in honor of Women's History Month. I'm so excited for you because I know that you are going to be the woman of history. You are going to make history in your business, and you're going to help someone else do just the same. Take care now.